Greetings, mathematicians. Here we are, Unit 2, Lesson 1, Areas and Area Models. Take a moment, carefully write the title in cursive. All right, let's jump into our objective. Today's objective is I will use area models for multiplication of ones and tens. Take a moment to carefully write your objective into your notebook. All right, let's read it one more time. I will use area models for multiplication of ones and tens. Now, looking into this, we've got a term that some of you may have heard before called area models. Let me switch up my pen. I know Miss Two probably talked about these, and we're going to use them for the operation of multiplication. And specifically, when we're looking at the place value of ones and tens. Now, before we get into an area model, we may have to discuss an array. I'm going to move my camera down slightly. Now, an array is half of an area model. And you've been working with arrays since first grade, so let's quickly get our definition. It is a visual representation, I'm going to abbreviate representation, of numbers using rows and columns. Now, a quick example of a row would be this is our example of an array that is a row. And thankfully, using our grid paper, we can come up with a column pretty easily. Let's start here. Here's an array that is vertical. It goes up and down. And we would use the term column to describe it. I'm just going to draw an arrow. So we've got rows, we've got columns. In this representation, we should have 10 boxes. I believe I counted correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Now, as I mentioned before, an array is part of or half of uh, an area model. And the definition of area model is the space inside a shape. Now, an example of that would be, let's make it a little bit smaller than 10. I don't have that much space going on here. Let's see. Oh, I do have 10. Now, for this, I've got length, I've got width. So let's call this the side length. And our L for length equals 10. And our width for our side equals 3. So our area on the inside, and our area model has a formula. A equals L times W. So in this case, A would equal 10 times 3 and our area would equal 30. Oh, let's call this centimeters. We do cm squared. Now, a square unit is how we label an answer when we're looking for the area. So a square unit would look like, well, since there are two things that we're multiplying, let me move down a little bit. Now, if we're talking centimeters or inches or meters or feet, whatever our label is, we're going to end it with, let's see, so let's use the same example. 10 times 3 equals 30 centimeters. And then we put a little exponent of 2 up here, squared. When we talk about volume, when we're going in three directions of length, width, and height, we're going to actually turn it into the number 3, because there's three directions that we're multiplying. But for area, it's only going to be that exponent of 2. So 10 times 3 equals 30 centimeters squared. All right, take a moment and let's get this jotted into our notes. All right, I've got one example before I release you. All right, next example here. Let's go for 10 in a row. And for those of you that are using a notebook that does not have grids, you may want to use a ruler, but really whatever we label the length and width is what we're multiplying. So get it as close as you can. Let's see. I'm going to be accurate on this one because I've got the grid. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my width, and let's call this one feet. So this is length equals 10 feet. It's not really 10 feet. It's in my notebook. That would be huge. And let's go for our width. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So W for width equals 6 feet. So what we want our formula to look like, we want to take it a little further down than I did on the last model. So for this one, we would want to look at area equals length times width. Start with a given. Then we'll move down and we'll plug in our variables. L is 10, width is 6. And we can come down further. Let's see. Ten times 6 is 60 units. So each one of these is a unit of 1. So 60 units. And let's see, 60. And we gave it the label of feet. And we would say feet squared. And remember, we're doing that 2 because we're multiplying two things, length and width. That is our exponent. All right, human beings, I will have your next steps posted on the board. Thanks for watching. That was areas, arrays, and area models.